Hey, y'all, it is Cassie Bollinger. It's here for Work It Wednesday. Whoop, whoop. Tonight, we are going to talk about high PRV. Now, I'm going to talk about how I get my high PRV. Is it the highest you can get? No. Is it higher than some? Yes. I have been consistently keeping my PRV over 2,000 for the last 3 months. Now, prior to that, I did hit a standstill with my business, and I will go over why and how to make sure that first you don't get into it and then how to get out of that. When I started in 2020, we were in the middle of pandemic buying. Everybody was buying online because no one was going anywhere. No one was able to spend their money because everything was shut down. The only way to get anything was to order it online and have it shipped to your house. With everybody that was buying, it was because they were at home more often and they realized being in their house 24/7, except for like before where it was only 8 hours. Like you get home from work at 6, you'd have dinner, you would eat, and then you go to bed. And then you go back to work, that you work and you stay in that office or wherever your job site is for 10 plus hours. And then you get home and do it all over again. So when I started in 2020, the sales came easier than they do now. And the reason why is because everybody was looking for ways to clean, ways to improve the smell in their house. They were able to start those projects and do all those things because they had more time at home. With everything starting to get more normal. I can't say it's normalizing, but it's getting a little bit more normal. People are still going out. People are still working in offices, but there are still some people at home. Basically about December, I hit my wall. Now, when I said that I had high PRV from May of 2020 till basically December of 2021, my PRV never dropped under 2,000 except for my first month. My sales had gotten all the way up. I believe the highest I ever had was 4,800 in 1 month. Now that month, guys, woo, that was a lot. The way that you start getting high PRV is being consistent in your business. The biggest thing is you need to find one aspect and stay consistent with it. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that's the only thing you do, but your priority needs to be one thing, and then you work consistently so it becomes second nature. I created a VIP group. That is my bread and butter. That's where a lot of my sales come from. The rest of them are referrals. And I consistently keep my VIP group updated. Now, starting in May of 2020, a lot of them first, it's not like I'm following up. I had to start creating relationships. So that was when I went through every single thing in my phone. I started messaging everybody. I started messaging everybody through Facebook. I created the group. I asked everybody. I consistently asked everybody about every week, week and a half, again, to remind them that, hey, I'm still a Scentsy consultant. I just want to let you know that I am available at any time. Please let me know. Look at my website. Have you seen this? I would send different messages in different forms to different people, trying to make sure that I kept in touch with every single person in my VIP group, because that was kind of where I was holding my contacts of basically my customers in one spot. So for me, what I did consistently then was I could just post and then I could message, and sales were coming easy. I would be like, people would be like, yes, I need to get this and I need to get this. And it was like a $200 order. It was a $400 order. It was hey, I have 3 friends and I sent them your information. They're going to send you their orders and let's just get them in. It was crazy, crazy scary because there was so much volume coming in and I was getting orders so much every single day that I fell down on the job of following up. So once you get the customers, you have to follow up. You have to thank them for choosing you. They're buying from you because of you. It could be the products, but again, they could go to Scentsy.com and they can purchase anything they want from Scentsy.com. So they're purchasing it from you. So you've got to make sure that you are doing follow-ups. Your follow-ups is what's going to help those original sales multiply. Okay. So in the beginning, so if you're starting today, you are in a rut or anything else, you need to be messaging everybody again. Why? Because in the beginning, when you told everybody that you were a Scentsy consultant, okay, so you told all these people, and a lot of them said, no, not interested, maybe later, but you skipped over that because everything was no's. And you find the yeses and you just stick on them like glue, and you'd be able to follow up with them. You would consistently be able to talk to them because you knew they were buying, and then they stopped buying because they just bought $200 worth of stuff and they're not out of it in a week. Like, it takes a little bit of time to use it, but you forgot about that maybe. Now, another thing is that in the beginning, they may have already known what Scentsy was and they had a Scentsy consultant, and you messaged and they said no because they didn't know if you're going to stick it out. Now, I've come across this quite a bit in the last 3 months because everything for my business changed after SFR. And I started everything new in August. And the reason why I started everything new in August is I wanted to be able to have a pinpoint of where my system started and then stay consistent with it for 6 months to see if I can improve every single month. So I started messaging some people back. Have I gotten to everybody? No, I'm nowhere close. I'm still getting there. But I'm messaging them back, and I found that some people were like, well, I didn't order from you in the beginning because the last person that I started ordering from quit doing it. And then I couldn't find anybody. So I didn't want to start ordering from you because I didn't want to get used to being able to get Scentsy and then not having anybody to ask. So you need to remember that your customers are just people. They're humans. We want the interaction. We want to feel special. And if you're not doing that with your customers, that may be why you start to see a dwindling of your current customers going down. Either they're not feeling special, maybe they asked you a question and you forgot, or you didn't get back to them, or you thought you were going to, but the message didn't go through, or it's still in your drafts and you didn't even realize it. So even if you're starting today, this is November 2nd, this is the day everything can change, because you have to change your mindset. Okay. The mindset that we have is kind of like, it's new. Yes, you're going to be new. You're starting anew. It's like, is it going to be scary? Guys, every time when you start something new, it's always going to be scary. Okay. It's always going to be scary. Is it going to be hard? Sometimes. Now, the first time that you do anything, it's going to be harder than the second time. Okay. So the first time you do it, it's hard, it's confusing. You're not quite sure what path to go down. The second time you're like, okay, I remember trying it this way and this way. I'm not going to do it that way, but I'm going to go this path. And it may not be as hard, but it may still be hard. And then the third time and the fourth time, they're not as hard. Like, I was able to get through it. It only took me like 35 minutes or 45 minutes, but I was able to get through it. And then after maybe the 6th or the 7th or the 8th or the 20th or the 50th time, it became easier. Now, was it going to be perfect? No, nothing is ever going to be perfect, but it's the consistency of trying. It's constantly trying, tweaking, pivoting on each thing that you do that becomes easier for you to do, and finding it the way that it needs to work for you. The path that I have taken with my VIP group, opening a business page, having an Instagram, having a YouTube channel, having a TikTok, has like grown. It's like my entire business has kind of multiplied on the different platforms because I was ready to do that. Would I suggest that for anybody who's just now starting Scentsy brand new? No. And the reason why is because I learned the ins and outs about Facebook at the time when I started in May of 2020. Now, anybody who's been on Facebook knows that every single time they do an update, things change. So you have to be willing to learn the new stuff and change as it goes through. So once you learn your platform, maybe it's not Facebook, maybe it's Instagram, or maybe it's just TikTok, or maybe it's just YouTube, or maybe it's just Snapchat. Like, all of these different things. Once you find your focus, learn ins and outs, learn everything. Like, if you see a button, push it. Like on your app, you can be on your app push a button and see what it does. If it says, do you confirm deactivating your account? Well, cancel that and don't do that again. And you'll learn that, don't do that button. But everything else you can learn by just clicking on a button. The next thing is that if you can't figure out what a certain button's for, Google it. Like Google it just to find out what that button's for. Now, is it going to be confusing? It could be. Everybody's knowledge of technology and social media and the internet are different. We're all at different levels. Some of us are more apt to learning newer things. Some of us fight against the newer things and the technology, but we find ways around it. Okay. I used to work in a cell phone company. I did tech support. I knew all the things you could know about every single phone back in like 2005 to 2007. Now, that was a long time ago, guys. Long time ago. Has technology changed? Yes, it changes on a daily basis, but it's okay. It will get easier. Okay. It gets easier with consistency. Are you going to be comfortable? If you stay in that comfort zone of where you always are, like I always do this, it's never going to change if you stay there. I mean, you're going to be comfortable, but you're going to be consistently comfortable at what you wanted to change. So you have to get out of that comfort zone. You have to make a valid choice, a like permanent choice. You got to say it out loud. I want to change this. Now, then you break it down as like, how do I change it? Like we all can sit there and say, I want to lose weight. I want to eat better. I want to get a better hairstyle. I want to like do my makeup more. But we make that statement and then I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know what to do next. So I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die. Tomorrow is where everything falls apart, because in the instant that you make that decision, you need to start actions. So you can make a decision with no actions, and then that decision ends up just kind of being a goal, and then just kind of a dream, and then a whim, and then a wish, and then it's gone. It's that fast. Like everything starts to break down so fast because you did not push yourself to do that. You didn't push yourself to go for that dream. As children, we always had, we all had dreams. I was told, I didn't have this dream at first, but I was told I was either going to be the president of the United States or a teacher, because I like to boss people around and tell them what to do. That was my kindergarten teacher, Miss Sample. She's amazing. She ended up being my youngest daughter's pre-K substitute teacher for a short time. But that's what she told my mother at my first teacher parent conference: the president of the United States or a teacher. I thought that would be great. I thought, oh, I would love to be a teacher. My problem is, as I grew older, I love to teach and coach, but I'm not keen to do it with small children. My patience level isn't there. So that dream kind of was like, eh. And I was like, ooh, president of the United States. And then I found out in one of my government classes that most presidents were lawyers. So back when when the United States was being built, most of them were lawyers. And so I wanted to be a lawyer. And that was my dream. Like I always wanted to be a lawyer. That was my dream up until probably about 10 years ago. I had put myself through school. I had gone like at least a semester. I was fighting for this dream. I had to go to college, but I knew I couldn't afford to go to a college. So I went to Tarrant. Well, back then it was TCJC. It was Tarrant County Junior College. I was at least going to get my basics. I was just going to go and get my 2-year associates of something and then transfer to somewhere else. So I did that, and I went to the classes, and it was hard because I was working 2 jobs and I was taking care of kids, and I was trying to do that, and I tried, and I wasn't finding the full success. Like I didn't have bad grades. I had all B's and most and A's. So I had mostly B's and some A's in there. And then occasionally I'd get that little C that I would be dropping that class, and then I'd go back through and redo it. But that was like my goal. And I was like, I'm going to be a college graduate and become a lawyer. And I realized as I've gotten older, for me, school wasn't fun anymore. Learning out of these books wasn't fun anymore. So then I didn't know what my dream would be. So as we grow up, our dreams are going to change. I mean, I have dreams now. I have dreams of building basically a Scentsy empire. I want to grow leaders. I want to take care of my customers. I want to make sure that everybody's getting the great customer service. I want to make sure that everybody's getting trainings that they need, that there's systems in place. That is my dream. And so with all this going on is that I have to put things in place. And for the high PRV that we're supposed to be talking about tonight, putting all this stuff into motion is where your success will come out. So we talked about, is it going to be comfortable? No, you got to get outside that comfort zone. You've got to take a risk on yourself, invest in yourself, like invest time. And especially time in front of that mirror, talking to that little inner self that tells you you're not worth it. Okay. We got to get past that person, and we need to set goals. We need to set things into place to move you outside your current comfort zone to get you to the higher PRV. So I talked originally about how I kind of got to my high PRV, and what happened is that I just kind of hit a standstill wall in December of 21. I hit depression really hard at the beginning of this year. I had started another job. I was working 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. And then I was still trying to keep up with my Scentsy stuff, but I knew I needed to get another job to support the bills that we had, because COVID had completely screwed off my credit. Even though my PRV was high, we were just barely making enough to kind of like dig ourselves out of the hole slowly. I mean, it's never something that's fast. And I started working with different systems, trying to figure out, but I was never consistent with it back in January. I was trying too many things all the time. And I realized that my follow-up from everybody back in May of 2020, all the way until December of 21, that I forgot people. I forgot to thank them. I forgot to send happy mail out. I didn't text them. I didn't email. I didn't really have a system, but it was so much, so fast. Back in 2020, I hit director in 4 months. I had a team of 9. We each individually was doing over 2,000 a month. Everybody was pushing. Everybody, this was like a survival rate, because with COVID, we didn't know how long it was going to last. And we're like, we might as well ride this ride as long as we can. And we did. And we wrote it, and then everything started kind of dwindling out. And then we hit fall and winter again, and everything went back great. And it was going and going, going. So whenever I came into 2022 of January, and now I'm working a full-time job, and I'm sitting here doing Scentsy, and I'm struggling. I've slowly started to make systems so my life is easier. I'm working with an additional system of every single day there is a goal or a topic that I'm working on, or you could say a job I'm working on every day. Like Sundays is samples, Mondays happy mail, Tuesday I'm doing my reels for Facebook and Instagram, Wednesdays are trainings, Thursdays my YouTube and my team page, Fridays follow-up happy mail, Saturdays are still kind of up there. So I've kind of created and put it up on my board, so that way I kind of know if I don't know what to do, I'm looking up there. So now that I realized that my follow-up system was lacking, I had to start messaging everybody again. And this is why this training is great for anybody who's been stuck in a rut, or maybe who's trying to dig themselves out of their hole, or starting brand new, is that you have to let everybody know that you're a Scentsy consultant. It doesn't matter if you told them a year ago, it doesn't matter if you told them 2 years ago. And for me, it doesn't matter if I told them 2.5 years ago. We need to tell them again. We need to remind them that we're still here. We've been doing this now for X amount of time. We're going to be consistent with it. We're going to stay with this. And we're going to be giving them the best customer service. You want to make sure that when you're messaging these people and you're reaching out to them, that you're also customizing your messages. Guys, no one wants to get the, hey girl, hey, I'm a Scentsy consultant, buy from me. No one wants to get that because that has been overused. You need to use their name. You need to make sure that they know that you're talking to them. And don't call them their name on Facebook if you know them personally. It drives me absolutely crazy for people to send messages to, hey, Cassandra. It drives me nuts when I went to school with them, when I've known them and worked with them, and I've known, and I'm around them. They know they don't call me Cassandra, but they're either copying and pasting my name or they don't know how to spell Cassie, all these things. So that to me bothers me because they're messaging me out of the blue with not even using my name. You also need to make sure that you are doing personalized responses. Okay. And you need to read between the lines. Unless they actually say, no, F off, don't ever message me again, I don't care. You need to use their not right now, I don't know, as a way to find out why. Like ask them, as like, you know, what's your hesitation? Sometimes it could be money. Sometimes they may not know what they want and they just didn't have like the guts to ask you. Maybe they just don't understand, like they know what Scentsy is, but they like laundry. How's it with laundry? Do you put wax drops in there? And I don't really want that in my laundry, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to get some like, you know, my laundry a different scent. But yeah, then it's too expensive or like, no, I really need a lot of wax, but I can't afford all that. We are here to provide a service. We are here to provide a way for them to get Scentsy in their life. If you don't know the different ways of how to get discounts, you don't know how they can get free and half price items, that will be a different video. But that's asking them questions. And it's not taking a not right now like to heart. Guys, you're going to hear no's. You're going to hear no's. We did a whole program, a whole system on go for no's. And Blake and I had started booking parties, and I sent out, I'm like, okay, because we are going to do the go for no's for the month of November. That will be coming up soon. But I wanted to get examples. So what did I do? I sent out messages about my my free, or I guess my 0 out-of-pocket kits, the kits that I had earned with all of my rewards for open parties on my system. And I was going to get people to sign up. I'm like, I'm going to ask them the direct question of, would you like a 0 out-of-pocket starter kit? I had 4 people say yes, and I only had 3 kits. I had 2 people completely sign up. 1 backed out. The other one was already a consultant before. So she couldn't use it. She couldn't sign up that way. Now I told her she could reinstate. We're having a conversation with that. So we're going through that. But when I put my mind to it that I am getting the no's, I didn't get any no's, guys. It's whenever we sit there and go like, I'm going to message them. I'm going to message them. And then they say no. And you're like, oh, they said no. They hate me. Oh, I shouldn't have asked that way. It was horrible. What am I doing? Guys, it's a no. I tell my kids no all the time. All the time. Do you think they get devastated and just throw it? Well, okay, some of them will get devastated and throw themselves on the floor and throw a tantrum. But we tell our kids all the time, no. We tell our waitresses and waiters that no. It's not the end of the world. You just have to know how to take that no and understand why. And sometimes it's just having the guts to be like, why? I mean, it depends on how you know. If you don't want to turn them off completely, but at the same time, ask them why. Like, why? Why is a powerful question, because sometimes you will actually get an answer. So messaging everybody, and book parties. So guys, I offer people 3 parties, okay? In person, a pouch party, and a scrolling party. Now, nowhere in there says Facebook. Why? I am not I'm just gonna say, I hate doing Facebook parties. It's just not for me. Like, I work so hard on my VIP group, my energy for Facebook goes to that. Doing a Facebook party for me is double the work that I'm doing for my VIP. And I don't find that it brings me joy. And I'm trying to find different things that bring me joy and using that to better my business. Because if it brings me joy, I'm going to do it more. But our whole Scentsy business is built on buy, host, join. So if they won't buy from you for whatever reason, ask them if they'll host a party or a referral for someone else to host a party. Then ask them to join. Between those three things, you should be able to consistently be growing your business. Okay? Buy, host, join. Now, with that in mind, I know I'm throwing a lot out of you, and I hope you brought your pen and paper. Because not only do you need to do all those things, you also have to train yourself. You showed up today for a training, and that is what you need. You need to find different aspects of different consultants to find out the best mix for your business. What I do in my business, you can't duplicate it. You know why? Because you don't have my heart. You don't have my experience. You don't have my goals. Trust me, guys. My life's crazy. You don't want my life. You want your life, and you want your experiences, your expertise, because your business is different than mine. You can't duplicate everything I do because you're not me. So what you do is you watch different trainings. You find them either on the workstation. You can find them in YouTube. If you have a category or a specific thing that you want to work on, now this all goes back to the beginning of knowing what you want to work on. Then you can search for that. If you're not sure what you want to work on, that's a conversation you need to have with me. That way we can find out what brings you joy. So if you don't know what brings you joy, then we can talk about different things for you to try one at a time with your own journey. You need to make sure that you're finding things that you enjoy so you'll duplicate them. So if I say Facebook party, now I know how to run Facebook. I know how to run a Facebook party. I have been successful at Facebook parties. I choose not to do them because they don't bring me joy. They bring me more stress and anxiety than anything else. Also for your trainings, because we have Facebook groups, we have the YouTube trainings, you have your Work It Wednesdays. Your other one is the conventions that Scentsy puts on. World tours coming up in February for Texas. So there's one in Dallas that is on the 4th, I think. And then the next one's like on the 12th in Houston area. So those are the two in Texas that you can go to. They are back-to-back weekends. I was going to try to do both of them, but with back-to-back weekends, I'm not sure if I can swing that much for both of them. So if they had a little bit more space, I'm not trying, because I'd love to see my girls down in the Houston area. And then SFR, Scentsy puts these on so you get direct training from people successful in our business that is doing the things that we are wanting to do and making success out of it. They're either growing teams, or they have high PRV, or they're keeping their team growing. I mean, there's so many aspects of our business that you can learn from someone there. And someone who's been in it longer than I have, someone who's been more successful in different things. But that's why these different conventions are so worth it. You become a family going to some of these. And the reason why is because you're amongst like-minded people. The reason why people are showing up for this training is because they want to be successful in Scentsy. And so you'll find your tribe. You'll find the people that you fit with. And you think you're alone, but when you go to these events, you don't feel alone. You will find relationships. You will cultivate business arrangements of like, hey, my team can schedule with your team, and then we can like collab back and forth, and we can both build up our businesses, even though neither one of us is set to benefit other than the knowledge from each other. Like there's no monetary benefit of helping another team. But for me, it brings me so much joy. I love to train and I love to help. Creating your systems will help you get high PRV. We need to go back to that. I'm getting spacey. So high PRV. So creating the systems, I kind of talked about it earlier. Creating a business page. So you have your personal page on Facebook. You can create a business page on Facebook. Now, on my business page, I am more quote unquote salesy. I can be very informative, to the point. Do you want to buy? Click the button at the bottom, because it is a business page. If they come across it and they like it, it's going to be my business page. My VIP group. So I have my personal page. I have a business page. Then I have my VIP group and my team group. Okay. I run those differently. My VIP group needs to be more for me to get to know my customers. It needs to be a way to interact with them and find out personalities, find out how maybe, because everybody perceives information differently. And that's how you grow that. The team group. Okay. So that our whole team page, our team group, that's cultivated different than my VIP. I don't post all day long, but I do groups and bursts of posts whenever I find information that's needed. Like today, I did post in our team page different things about understanding from creators on Facebook, reels. What helps a reel get seen? What helps a reel become noticed? It's a way to utilize the different aspects of Facebook to continue your business. You also want to think about tracking your sales and your PRV. So Thursday Night Shift a couple of weeks ago had just a blank calendar. So that way you could put whatever the days were, like were the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It was set up as a calendar. And Melissa Gratza talked about getting a sale a day. And that way it doesn't matter the amount, just like striving for one sale a day. That is pivotal. If we just had to worry about one sale, didn't say it had to be a $50 sale, $100, $500, $1,000 in one day. It's talking about any sale, one a day. That calendar can be utilized so you know where you got your sales and how much you got each day. Now, I do something very similar, but instead of it being like a calendar, it is actually a full-on list. So this just has PRV. So this is my PRV per day. Then it has the TWV and GWV. So that's our team wholesale value and group wholesale value, which for me, since I'm not a director, is all in one. Active frontline, new recruits, and team members and group members. So for me, I can go back and look day to day on each month out of each year of where our team was, where I was, at which time of the day, or not time, which for each day where we were at. And then year over year, as I accumulate these, I'll be able to see how we did. So next year in 2023, I can look back and look at October. Now, I didn't start this in the beginning, and there's no way to go back and look as a day to day how much you sold unless you went through every single thing on your work history and calculated every PRV for the end of that day. I wouldn't be able to do it for my team, but I would at least be able to do it for myself. That's a lot of work. I'm not going to go back and do that, but I started in October. So you can start now. We are only on November 2nd. Okay. This was part of the planner that I had uploaded, that I gave you Canva, or I actually uploaded the Canva link for the planner. And this was one of the pages. I just printed off one of the pages. You can utilize this to see where you're going. Now, if you have a team, then it also helps track how you versus your team was doing on a day-to-day basis. This is a consistency that you need to see in your business to get high PRV. If you know that on the 15th, when the scent and warmer of the month processes and your GWV jumps, then you know that one, it could be that a lot of the team is actually getting their own PRV and they have subscribed to the Scent Warmer of the Month. And so, you know, as a team that you can talk more about the Scent Warmer of the Month and how to utilize that for their business. You can also look at it as they're working their business because they're wanting to get that warmer, to take pictures of it. They want to take pictures with themselves. They're taking the bars and they're making samples. At least if they're getting the scent of the month, they are taking the rub and sniff stickers and putting it on everything and getting samples of that wax out. And that's what we hope. And if you're not doing that, that's something you need to do because it is a tax write-off for your business. Also, think about creating a program for your customers. Like I do the ABC boxes. So that was something I created for my customers that gives them a variety of different items. It helps me as well because that way I can utilize the items I have lying around here. That was a way for me to get product under them that I want them to have. The whiff box is amazing. And Scentsy creates that. I wanted to kind of create my own. Now, I don't put a lot of extras into it. I may put some like crinkle paper and some confetti or like some little confetti in there. And I always put a note. That's the stuff I put in there, but I get to make my own ABC box. You can also create other ones. Like I just started the turkey trot for my customers. I'm only doing 5 this year. Last year I did 10, but I only got 1 out because only 1 person said yes. So I made it less, 5, more exclusive for my customers because I want to do something different. So utilizing different programs, or you can say different specials or bundles, as long as you aren't, if it's not something Scentsy offers and you can't tell them what they're going to get. Like you can't say that every single person that does, like I can't say in the turkey trot that every single person will get free and half price without saying with a qualifying party. Okay. So there's different things that you can promote into your VIP groups so you can help improve your sales. Because if it's something you're doing every single month, if it's something you're doing, then your customers can see that it will, once you be consistent, that they'll be looking forward to it. Utilize every platform's perks. So learn everything about Facebook. So Facebook has pages, groups, reels, stories, and posts. Okay. That's so much to learn. Instagram has reels, stories, and posts. And hashtags are like the must in all of these because when people search for things, hashtags apparently get searched first, which I've recently found that out. Look at YouTube. Hashtags are like it. Now, YouTube has just opened up that you can do posts. So each page can now post on there like they do on Facebook. It's becoming a whole other platform. YouTube is huge, guys. I don't think we utilize YouTube the way that we should. And I'm learning more and more. Shorter videos are always better than longer videos, interactive videos. This also kind of goes back to the reels. You can take any video of any length and create a reel from it because reels are only short tidbits of it. So if you have a video that you're wanting to do to promote the warmer of the month or like promote the cleaning products or the laundry products, you can always throw it into a reel and have a link to your YouTube. There's so many ways that you can interchange this and put these together and have them all work for you at one time. And just remember, as I'm finishing up this, is don't get in your own way. Guys, high PRV is doable for anybody, but we have to stop saying, I can't do that. We have to stop saying that, yeah, you can do it, but I can't do that. I don't have the time. I don't know how to do that, so I can't do that. I don't know what to say, so I can't do that. Guys, can't get you anywhere. I mean, cancer like tomorrow. Tomorrow, everything that you say will do tomorrow won't happen. Everything dies in tomorrow. Like every dream that you have and you say, I'm going to start tomorrow, will never happen if you don't start it now. Like, even if you have the dream, write down what you're going to do to get to tomorrow. Like, how is that dream going to start becoming possible tomorrow? Write it down. Start putting your focus into how to break down your goal. Every single person who is in this team page should be doing a minimum of 500 a month in PRV. That's a bare minimum. That's like, I mean, I hate to say this, I honestly get that in just my Scentsy clubs and my Scent and Warmer of the Month subscriptions. 500 a month. 500 a month is the bare minimum to get paid on a team. You don't get paid on a team if you have a team, if you are doing less than 500. Okay. So with that being said, the goal for every single month should be more than last time. Okay. So your minimum goal is 500. So if you're not hitting 500, your goal now is 500. Once you hit 500, the next month, you need to have a higher goal. The month after that, whatever that higher goal is, that's what your next month is. Okay. You should always be trying to improve month over month. You should always say that next month it'll be more. Now, in the beginning, starting off or restarting or revamping everything, it's going to be hard. Why? Because you haven't been doing it consistently before. It's going to take you longer because you don't know how to do, you don't know the cheats. You don't know how the cut throughs. You don't know how the little simple hacks and tricks are because you haven't done it all the way through. Like, you've got to start doing it to shorten the time. So what normally took me in Happy Mail that would take me a whole week to do, I can get done in a day. All those posts I was posting in my VIP group that used to take me 2 to 3 days to get one full day done and a little bit of the next, now can take me about an hour and a half of total focus. Now, I don't always have that. I try to do mine in smaller spurts of 30 minutes and schedule as many as I can. And I come back to it later, 30 minutes, schedule as many as I can. And I normally can get my whole next day out in about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what's going on. Like, I can focus on it completely. It just takes me a little bit longer. That's my ADD, which just happened to me. So utilize what you know, build from there, and push for more. So if you are saying that you have talked to every single person that you know and nobody is buying, then you message every single person back again, every single one, and ask them for referrals. If you have asked every single person to buy, host, or join, every single person you know, and every single person for a referral, and everybody says no, I want you to send me screenshots. Okay? Because then we can work on it. The Go for No's is there for a reason. The Go for No's was a program that I started to get you out of your own head. When we say I've talked to everybody, you have not talked to everybody. You haven't. We get scared. We think we can just message the 3 people that we messaged last month or last week or yesterday and say we're done. It's hard. And sometimes if you have been slacking on your customers, then you want to make sure that you get back with them and apologize. Take responsibility for dropping the ball. I am so sorry I have not messaged you back. I came across you, or you were like, I was thinking about you. Like, write everybody down so you can hit all those. And whenever you think of more, write them down so you don't forget. And then you can go through your list and make sure that you did contact everybody. And then all of those people, whenever they say no, that they don't want to buy, host, or join, ask them if they would refer you. It's a total process. There's not a way to say, number 1, do this. Number 2, do this. Number 3, do this, and you'll be successful. There's no way, because those 3 is constantly going around in a circle. They're constantly going through round and round. Buy, host, join. Buy, host, join. Some of your customers are over here. Sometimes it starts going like this. Okay. Sometimes it's never going to meet up all at one time for every single customer. You have to know there is a flow. Each customer is like their own little circle. Okay. They buy, they want more, they host a party, they want more, they join. Maybe they didn't join. Maybe they went back to buy and host. Maybe it's just buy and host for them for a while. And then they're going to realize like, oh my gosh, how much commission was this? Like, oh my gosh. And then it's going to be by host join. Every customer's on their own little, like their own little track. You may have 100 tracks going on at one time. You may have 200 tracks. Just make sure that you're checking with each one of them. Follow up, ask everybody, book your parties. Like I said, I only do 3. I do in-person, the pouch party, and the scrolling, the Canva scrolling text party, however you want to call it. Those are the 3 I offer. If you love Facebook, then throw in Facebook. That means you have 4 different ways for them to buy, to earn free and half price items. Start doing some trainings. Even if it's not here every single week, find a group on Facebook, find a YouTube person to follow, find multiples, search for different things that you are wanting to improve. Create systems that you can duplicate, replicate, show others to do, and you continue to do them. They'll never be perfect. You will always have to keep tweaking it, keep oiling it. Like you've got to keep it moving. But systems are great to be able to make things faster, easier to do, and less time. And then just consistency is key. So that's what I have for you guys tonight on high PRV. Guys, this is Cassie Bollinger. I love you all. I hope you all have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next week.